So if you're there thinking, did I get possessed the last time that I had sex? Probably yes, because the etymology of sex is to cut. And I wonder what it's cutting, if not the soul, into pieces, because like, it's one thing if it's let's use the word God, which I hate, but whatever, a God ordained, no, see, I don't want people to think I'm religious, because it's like the opposite. So let's see, if your spirit, your own light, sort of, you were doing something that you liked, just casually walking down the street, and you realized that you had you had to meet this girl, like there was no way around it, like you even tried to escape it, and you couldn't, because it was like destiny ordained, like God ordained, like a twin flame, they say now, or a soulmate, or something, like seriously, like God wanted you to have this experience, then that's not demonic. It's literally in the Gnostic text, something like it's only adultery when you have sex with someone who is not like similar to you, someone who is dissimilar to you. So casual sex would be adultery, and not in a moral way. Like, not what I'm saying. It's just in the it hurts me type of way. It hurts you. So when Jesus or whoever was talking about that was saying that, it was like, hey, why'd you do that? Why would you do that if it hurts you, if it splits you, if it fragments you, if it possesses you, which is just another way of saying possession. Sorry, fragmentation. It's the same as possession is what I meant. So here's the problem with finding this on social media, and that's that people will use it to sow further division. And what is division? It's like demonic possession. Not that I'm saying like, oh, fear-mongering, demonic, everything's a demon, like you should be in fear or whatever, but it's literally like the definition is like, for example, when you do something that is against your nature, your own values, your own principles, your own resonance, then you get like karmic consequences, or you get like symptoms, we could say, so you feel unbalanced and psychotic, maybe even in some extreme cases, so you're like, yeah, that's what a demon is, so let's keep it simple at that. And then you have these social media people being like, the Jezebels, like the woman, look, they're evil. It's like, that is also demonic in a sense, because like probably, at least be open to the idea of the possibility being true. They are also possessed, right? Like obviously. And they don't want to be doing that, but they're so possessed that they think it's fun. So while you think they are evil, the way that you should at least, not that I'm saying I know this woman or whatever, but like from my own experience struggling with demonic activity, we could say, and being super identified with the demon, it's like, yeah, at my worst, I could have made like a post like defending pornography or something as healing or something, maybe like this woman, they're laughing about possessing other men and draining their energy, right? But that doesn't mean that my soul was happy with what was happening on my life. So at least be open to the idea that the females, the Succovi or whatever, they are like the soul, their soul is actually suffering. It reminds me of this weird video that I saw, and I'm just gonna put the image here because I don't want to go into that. If you know type of stuff, right? So it's like the soul is so pure, it is made of light, we could say. So for people that find it, we could say, or get in touch with it, or get more in touch with it daily, then those tendencies will naturally dissipate. So to me, seeing that they have these tendencies, in fact, they're sort of confessing, and I share my experience now, but they're sort of confessing, I mean, in the sense that if they need to siphon someone's energies because they don't have energy. And I can also relate to that, like when you probably went through this, right? If you suffer with masturbation addiction, as I did, it's like you relapse 2, 3, 4 times in a row, maybe in the same day, and then you literally feel dead, like spiritually and physically dead. So in those really low moments, you could kind of understand like people who do some really crazy fucked up shit, because I never like got the inclination to like rape anyone, but I in my mind I knew that porn was kind of like rapey just by nature, by its own very nature, because you just go into the sites and like even in Pornhub or the famous sites, you just know there's videos which are re-uploaded by random strangers, and you're like, did the girl in that video consent to that upload? Probably not, maybe at some point, but not anymore. Or some just fishy stuff going on. So it's like, Even though I knew it was rapey by nature, I still wanted to do it. So I was like, oh, so I'm kind of like the rapist, low-key. So yeah, you could say at an energetic level, oh, you're so good, you never thought about it in person. He's like, how different could it be? So that led me to the conclusion of, or compassion, we could say, of seeing that maybe, everyone's like, in this case, it's prone to judge the girls, but usually it's prone to see the good in them. So it's like if they get raped, everyone's like, oh, obviously they didn't want that, poor baby, like, all that compassion. But then if someone's a rapist, it's like, he deserves to die, he deserves to be his balls chopped off, and there's a Netflix series about that. But it's like, for me now it's more like balance. It's like, if you didn't want to be raped and no one wants to be raped, then probably at least we should be open to the idea that no one wants to be a rapist as well, right? So when you have this more unilateral, like gender non-specific type of empathy, then you see this post and it's like, yeah, we could talk about how, I'll share my stories now. I realized that some girls did some really shady shit, even at a really young age, like before sex was like a thing in my life. Already there were like some clearly witchcrafty, demonic things and ties going on. And I'll share now for the like curiosity aspect or whatever, but like it's not important in the ultimate sense. But it shocked me, and of course the tendency, and you should validate the parts of you who are mad at them. We could say at least like, fuck that bitch, like, oh, she wanted to destiny swap me, well, fuck her, now I'm winning, or like this. It's like, obviously if that arises, let it arise. Like I'm saying stop judging her and start judging you. It's like, no, stop judging everyone, and that also includes you, right? So the experience for me was, I was 11 and this girl just like, and then it happened again. This is why I identified it as a weird, like, demonic pattern, is because then it happened again when I was 21. It's like a girl meets me and she's really sexy, like attractive, and has what is considered an objectively S tier type of body. It's like almost like out of my league, right? Like, why she's talking to me, right? And she does this whole thing where she gives me like a lot of, we could call it love bombing, but it felt different than love bombing because I experienced that in different aspects, but this was more like intentional, we could say. It's like when we meet, she's 1 week away from leaving to her home country for 3 months. And it's like she really, even though she's like a non-casual sex haver, like literally she only has relationships, and this is true, I mean, at least from what I know, or the image that she was trying to present in that moment, even though all that, she makes me feel really special because she's like, she wants to have sex with me before she leaves, right? And she makes it happen and stuff. It's like, I'm like flattered or whatever the hell, oh my god, sex, like who cares, right? And then like the tie gets formed, and then during those 3 months that she's on her home country, she's like siphoning my energy in the sense of she just wants me to be there all day, on like video chats. And I'm not acting like a victim, by the way. I wanted to do it clearly in a sense. So maybe she saw it as an investment. It's like, okay, I let him fuck me for 5 minutes and then he'll be obsessed with me all these months that I might need some like male energy or something while I'm away. Not saying that she could have not fucked like other people in her home country, like, yeah, totally, but she definitely wanted this like almost spiritual energy, or just energetic energy to be redundant again, in the sense of like not just like someone who wants to fuck her, but someone who's like really like paying attention to everything she says and all these type of things. So that reminds me, I'm 11 years old and there's this girl, and for 3 months we like share the perfect online relationship, we could say. She really makes me feel like she's my soulmate, and I was like an old soul in an 11-year-old body. Was like the closest thing to feeling alive that I've ever felt, because I felt dead already at 11. It was like so depressed, and she brings me back to life, and then she cuts it off abruptly, like suspiciously abruptly, and she starts like not recognizing me in person, basically, like, but continues to chat with me like we're soulmates. So it starts to really fragment my mind and just fuck with it. And you could say on a psychological level, oh, but maybe she had dissociative identity. There's, yeah, like I already went through the psychology states of life. Okay, I went to sick psychologists, and none could be able to help you, because this type of stuff is all spiritual. All disease is spiritual. You can talk with your mind forever about your problems, but it's like trying to fix something that is broken with what is broken itself. So it's a waste of time. So, but yeah, I tried the psychology approach, identity disorder, blah, blah, blah. Thing is, it made me insane, and it made me really fragmented. And what I thought was a pure soul that I had, by the age we have like this psychotic 11-year-old relationship, which is purely online. And then by the end of it, I'm not blaming fully her, by the way. Like, maybe that was inside of me and whatever, but like, because she has this thing where she is like justifying, to keep it at a superficial level, that she's cheating on me a bunch. At 15, she starts like being open about it almost. I'm like, oh, but like we loved each other. It's like, yeah, but I can help it. And like, well, at that time, I'm already obsessed. I have all this energy which is just devoted to her. Like brewing is like crazy, right? So she's feeding off that when she needs it, basically. So it could manifest for her as something like, maybe she's getting the physical energy, the lustful sexual energy, or whatever in her real life, but then when the night comes, she feels lonely like most people do, which I understand, and it's like, okay, time to talk to this other dude, and he gives me like a specific frequency of energy that I need. So he understands me, he understands my poetry, like this type of deeper type of bullshit, right? So it's like, oh, he was also obsessed with me. So obviously this is kind of the thing that I notice on this TikTok. It's like, yeah, she could be acting like she's having fun. Look, I'm so smart. Look at what I did. I figured life out. But like, no, bro, like even the best parasite is still a parasite. And yeah, it's like Monster Inc., you know, like who's harvesting the most energy from the kids, you know, it's like they compete and they make leaderboards, and the ego really thinks that's how one is going to feel good, but it's like, no, they don't have access to their own light, so they're essentially depressed. So if the energy gets cut off, which is going to happen, like I cut mine off, for this girl, so like maybe someday she woke up and she was feeling like utter shit and she didn't know why, and I don't feel, and I'm not trying to virtue signal, I definitely had the feelings of, oh, fuck that bitch, I'm glad she's going to suffer now. Totally, I'm saying now on the other side. But in the moment of the purge, like obviously, I mean, I'm not judging you if you're going through that. So, but you know, I'm pretty sure one day she woke up and she was feeling like utter fucking shit, and she might not even know it's about this. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, they are unconscious. She was 11 years old, so you think like, well, this girl, like, who is maybe 17 or 19, I don't know, from her face on TikTok, suddenly she's so conscious, like Jesus level conscious, so she's doing witchcraft on you? No, bro, like, she's so fucking possessed, she has no idea what's going on. She's like a woman. She has that, you know, everyone says like being a woman is harder, and I relate on the levels, I mean, I understand on the levels that they mean, but when you're spiritual, what you're seeking is spiritual energy or sexual energy, then it's easier to be a woman. So she's super mega possessed, and she had like almost like, just to depolarize, less of a choice, because it's like you're just a woman and everyone wants to fuck you and stuff. So you have a higher tendency to start doing shit like that. So I mean, just imagine, right? If you're a guy and like women were like literally begging to suck your dick all day long, you probably struggle to sort of reach a point of centeredness in which you don't let it drive you insane. It will probably at least drive you insane for a few years, is what I'm trying to say. So once you see that, it's like really easy to forgive them. At the same time, it becomes so apparent that this is real and that's what they're doing. The last time I tried to have casual sex, the girl was like, it was so interesting, to be honest. Like, I was already on the semen retention, at least recognition, so I didn't want to like ejaculate. But like, even though there was no chemistry and stuff, she was naked in my bed and she was like, it would be so hot if you came. Like, why are you so interested in the ejaculation? We didn't even like make out passionately. I understand, like, she was naked, so I understand also that the intent of the meetup was casual sex, but it's like we didn't even fuck. It's like I might have like oral something, whatever, like a little bit, and she's like, it'd be so hot if you came. I'm like, what? You know, like, it doesn't make sense. Like I'm not seeing like a witch or a demon. I actually saw a really insecure girl. But if I try to understand it spiritually, it's definitely a demon. And the demon is interested in informing that sort of obsession, in a sense, which like once you come, you will be having those obsessive thoughts about her lately or later on. So yeah, they might not know it, and I think they don't know it. If they knew it, they would they couldn't be doing it. That's how cool consciousness is, in a sense. So hope that made you think of something, and I love you.